Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the 2021 ABL season with the Matsu Miners. This time we are taking on the Peninsula Oilers from the Kenai Peninsula. We're back at Mulcahy again, and as always, I'm Sean Neef alongside my broadcasting partner Reese Lannon for another installment here at the ABL Scouts Showcase.
Miners playing against the Oilers today. Oilers are fresh off a loss yesterday by a score of 9-2 against the Anchorage Bucs. The Miners will send right-hander Michael Paul out to counter this Oiler lineup who has had trouble scoring runs. They're scoring about 2.5 runs a game. Paul, coming into the day, has had experience both out of the bullpen and in the starting rotation. This will be his 5th game, only his 2nd start, 13 1/3 innings. He's given up 4 runs, all earned, 10 strikeouts, good for a 2.70 ERA.
This will be game 1 of 2 for the doubleheader today, so only 7 innings for each game. Paul handed the ball for game 1, and around him in the infield we have Rother at third base, Bermuda's at short, Sweeney going to be taking over at second base today, a spot we might want to keep our eye on as he hasn't typically played middle infield as the year's gone on. And Sorelli at first with Cumbo in right field, Tyler Wilson in center field, and Aaron Walters in left. So not the greatest change for the Miners in the field, but they do have a few moving pieces and a couple names that aren't in the lineup today. Ferreira, for one, picking up his hitting recently, but getting a day off, and Morozic, who's a utility player all around, also getting a chance to rest possibly for game 2.
Oilers will send this lineup to the plate. Leading off at third base, Cole Moore. Batting second at shortstop, Trevor Antonsing. Hitting third over at the Keystone, second base, Johnny Olmstead. Batting fourth, cleanup in left field, Garrett Pennington. Hitting fifth in center field, Dylan Ditzenberger. Batting sixth and behind the plate, Grant Rosema. Hitting seventh and DHing, it's John Hanley. Batting eighth, playing right field, it's Andrew Soyka, and rounding out the Oiler order is going to be Henry Novicki, who's playing third base and batting ninth. On the mound for the Oilers will be Andre Orselli, who we've already seen a couple of times this year. Orselli is a mainstay in their rotation. He's more of a bullpen guy, actually, at Ball State University, but this year he will go out for his 5th start today. He has a good ERA at 2.75 ERA, so ERA is right around 2.7 for both pitchers. Orselli has 19 punch-outs in 19 2/3 innings.
Could be a nice pitching duel, and the mound itself honestly might be an ongoing story into this one. You see a little bit of a different shading for that middle stripe on the mound, as they did have to clean it up a bit after the game before this one between the Chinooks and the Glacier Pilots. Got torn up a little bit, and I wanted to make sure it was comfortable for everybody out there. Right now, Paul seems to be working his own groove onto it, as they're going to start off in the field. We're going to have the Oilers 1-2-3 coming up to start off the top of the first inning. And Paul, really interested to see what he can do in what I believe will be his 2nd start of the year.
Yeah, Paul's 2nd start. He has Kevin Nakamura behind the plate, who saw a lot of time behind the plate early in the year, but hasn't seen as much behind the plate lately. He's getting the start in the 8-hole today, so that's the pitcher-catcher battery between them. And coming to the plate first is going to be Cole Moore for the Oilers. Moore, who obviously got off to a really hot start this year, has cooled off a bit lately. His last 25 at-bats, he's batting an even .200 with a .286 on-base percentage, and no homers or RBIs to speak of.
Third baseman number 14, Cole Moore.
So Moore gets ready to step into the left-handed batter's box as we get ready to kick this game off with the first pitch. Miners looking to bounce back in this game after a tough loss yesterday to the Chinooks, who carried it into today with another 9-7 win against the Glacier Pilots.
Moore, left-handed batter from Central Missouri University. As Paul deals strike one, we're underway.
Michael Paul, a very great control pitcher, and one who produces a lot of fly balls as well, making it pretty easy on his teammates and really making sure that the outfielders stay alert throughout the game. Paul with another pitch here. This one got some contact on it, but not going to send it fair, so Cole Moore already staring at 2 strikes in an 0-2 count.
Miners game 2, obviously, after this one, another 7-inning affair. That game will start at 7 p.m. against the Anchorage Bucs, who will be the road team.
There's the first ball of the game for Michael Paul, so make it a 1-2 as Moore, or 2-2 count as Moore is trying to work his way back into this one. That one also inside, a nice test of patience at the plate as Cole Moore worked himself from a pitcher's count to a hitter's count, and we're looking at a 3-2. Something's got to give, so what will it be on the first batter? This one put into play right towards first base, making an unassisted 3 ground out for Nick Sorelli there at first.
Yeah, that ball was just a slowly hit ball up the line. Easy play for Sorelli as he gloves that. Sorelli back at first base today. He played there a little bit yesterday, and now it's going to be Trevor Antonsen from Seattle University.
Antonsen has been pretty much a mainstay for the Oilers in that 2 spot. Ever since the trip down to Kenai, the Miners have seen a lot of Antonsen as he puts the first ball into play. Ambush tactics working out there as that one gets down, and it's going to be their first hit of the ball game on only their second hitter.
Trevor Antonsen barreling that pitch up. On the year, he's been struggling quite a bit to hit the baseball, but right there, just going right back through the box, able to get it through. On the year, Antonsen, or rather, during Antonsen's last week of play, his on-base percentage is sitting at almost 400, so he's been good as of late.
That's rare for Paul coming into today. Only a 1.23 ERA, or whip, should I say. So somebody who's on the lower end of the spectrum for the Miners when it comes to allowing people on base. Starting off early here.
And a runner on, Johnny Olmstead from USC. Olmstead, a 225 hitter coming in. A couple of home runs, 8 RBIs.
So we'll see what the birthday boy can do behind or with the bat today as celebrating his 21st. A special day up here in Alaska at Mulcahy. Hopefully the Miners give him a birthday present that isn't too rude. As Olmstead is trying to get his first hit in his first at-bat here, taking this one now. Not offering a lot right now. Oilers showing off some patience, but that's what sets them up for some early hits, as we saw with Trevor Antonsen, who's got a pretty modest leadoff off of first. This one pitched away, so that one gonna walk him over to first. Now we got 2 on early for Michael Paul. A jam situation with only 3 batters down and only 1 out in the inning.
Bring up Garrett Pennington, who is probably the most feared power bat in this lineup. He's got 3 home runs on the year and 13 RBIs.
Especially in a field like Mulcahy, where in the left field wall it seems to carry and carry. But if you put it opposite field for Pennington right now, it seems to be dying a lot, especially with the winds we've been seeing over the past few days. Pennington swinging big here and missing, so that's strike 1. He's not holding back on trying to drive in all the runs himself.
Pennington, another Central Missouri guy. He's also got 5 doubles on the year. Is prone to some swing and miss. He's striking out in about 25% of his at-bats so far this season.
But that power stroke definitely makes him a threat as he's continuing to try and do it all himself. That one's going to be another swing and miss for strike number 2.
So Oilers team comes in 2 today with the lowest batting average in the ABL. They sit at just 214. They do have some power. They are second in the ABL in home runs with 13.
So Garrett Pennington in a huge out situation here, starts to go, looks for the appeal and did not go around. So he'll stay alive at the plate just barely.
Dylan Ditzenberger standing on deck, a 286 batter.
And Ditzenberger has been arguably their best batter as of late as well, with an average near 400, so bringing him up to the plate offers a huge danger. This one's in the field, going to be tagged at third by Rother. Throw across, not in time for the second, so get one at third and put away their furthest advanced runner, but now they still have 1 away. And Dylan Ditzenberger, as I said, arguably their hottest bat coming up to the plate.
Yeah, that ball was hit down to Rother. He bobbled it a little bit, and without the bobble, he might have been able to turn that double play. But regardless, he is at least able to get 1 out.
So So a huge situation here early. Chance to take an early lead. Dylan Ditzenberger at the plate. As he's not taking anything low and away. Not going to be fishing today. So 1-0 for Dylan Ditzenberger. Oilers looking to stay competitive. Takes a big swing here. That one's going to be foul ball. Even it up at 1-1. Last contest for the Oilers, they took an early lead on a home run and were shut out for most of the rest of the game. So don't seem to have an issue get going. It's more of maintaining their lead. Right now they're in a position to try and take an early lead again. But that one taken outside. 2-1 now.
Ditzenberger, a left-handed batter, plays college baseball at the University of Kansas. Like you said, he's been a hot hitter as of late and has helped the Oilers score a few more runs. I mean, they were really stagnant earlier in the year at scoring runs.
Ditzenberger trying to maintain his lead here. This one put into left field and foul again. So 2-2. Ditzenberger making it even. Paul seems to have the call he wants. So we're ready for what could be the most important pitch in this sequence, as this one called strike, and he took it looking and get out of the top of the inning. How about handling the traffic there? Michael Paul able to get out of the inning without any score. Miners get a chance now heading into the bottom of the first to take the lead themselves. We'll be right back after a short break here at Mulcahy Stadium. Be sure to stay tuned. We're back here at the bottom of the first inning, and the Miners get their first chance here to take some swings as we are seeing if anyone wants to take an early lead here. Miners were threatened early on, but nothing came across the plate for the Oilers. We're getting ready here. Tyler Wilson, the first one to take his hacks for the Miners, as they have a bit of an interesting lineup going on. Wilson usually in the 2 or even the bottom hole, but he's been picking it up as of recently. Been getting a few multi-hit games for the Miners, and they're seeing what he can do for them here. That one called strike, so taking that one looking.
1-1 on Tyler Wilson.
Tyler Wilson, a switch hitter in the left-handed batter's box against Orselli, so trying to create a bit of a dominance matchup, taking that one outside.
Orselli's last start came on Sunday against these Miners at Herman Brothers Field. Orselli lasted 5 innings. He gave up 2 runs, which were earned, 7 hits, and he struck out 7.
Miners seem to see him well, create some offense early. This one put into the field, and he's safe. Pulled him off the bag, he says. So Novicki pulled off of the first base bag, and we're gonna have our first base runner for the Miners.
Yeah, that's gonna go down as an error on Antonsen. It's been kind of a tricky situation over there at first. We saw a couple just off the bag yesterday on errors where guys reached, and right away, first batter of the game, Tyler Wilson reaches on an error. Wilson, no steals on the year, but he's been caught a couple of times. We'll see what he does here.
Surprising he's getting caught with the steal, but right now he has a chance to be advanced, and Cumbo is not wasting any time here. Swinging early, but only fouled away. So Cumbo falls behind 0-1 early. Do have a bit of sprinkles coming into the area as a little bit of light rain is coming down early in this one. Nothing too major, though, to bring out the tarp. Regardless, we're going to keep going in the area. Got plenty of baseball to get through today. As Cumbo waits on his second pitch. That one taking strike, so 0-2 early, and Cumbo now has to get defensive. He seems to be very aggressive with his first 2 pitches, hardly ever takes. But he's good in a 2-strike count. Cumbo ready for what could be a payoff pitch. Puts this one down. Chance to turn 2. Antonsen with another throw. Still safe at first, so only a fielder's choice. Runner at first put out.
With 1 on and 1 out.
It's an easy play by the second baseman. Over there, Olmstead just not quick enough on the turn by Antonsen to get Cumbo, who runs well up the first base line.
Coming up to the plate is going to be the St. John's swinger for the Miners, Nick Sorelli. Sorelli been great as of late, making sure the ratio of strikeouts to walks staying even, never too one-sided. Taking a first strike call there. First baseman for the Miners, hoping to add something here. Cumbo's checked on it first.
Orselli with a fairly quick move off the mound. Cumbo can steal a base or 2. He stole a bunch in 2019 as a member of the New York Tech baseball program. He stole over 25 bags.
This one low and away. Nothing that Sorelli's interested in, as that one's taken for a ball. Sorelli hoping to extend this inning as Wilson was able to apply some pressure early, getting on, but nothing coming from it so far. 1 on, 1 away. Hit and run chance. Going for the tag. And that's going to end the inning as he gets both. Tags Cumbo on the run and throws out Sorelli at first. Our first double play of the game, and that's going to be just a 4-3 double play. Miners unable to create anything with 1 on early as we are getting ready to head to the second. No score on either side. A 0-0 ball game, and we'll be right back with some more action very soon.
second. Catcher number 20.
We're getting ready for our second inning of action here at Mulcahy Stadium, as it's going to be Grant Rosema leading it off for the Oilers. The catcher, his first at-bat of the day, and wasting no time here. Man, the Oilers are attacking early. This one's set into right field and fair. Only going to collect one on that deep hit, as he wasn't hustling for an extra base, but getting on again early. The Oilers waste no time getting a man on, only a one pitch for that single.
John Hanley now, who
Upsets DH number 39.
comes into this game on the year as a bit of a struggling hitter. He's on the year. He's had a little bit of power, as there's a pickoff, gets by Sorelli, back in is the runner.
As of recently, Hanley having a solid 3 for 12 though, so about a 250 in the last week of action, but he does take a strike there.
Hitting 200 overall in the year, a homer and 5 RBIs.
Rosema, obviously not the speediest, so it's going to take some nice contact to advance him to third. Hanley not offering there, though, a strike on the inside of the black. Miners hoping to work their way through this inning without any issue, as they had 2 on early in the first. Paul with the throw. This one's going to be high, so not going to catch him with the high cheese. Just a bit too sharp and a bit too high.
Sitting on deck is the right fielder, Soyka.
Right behind him in the hole, first baseman Henry Novicki, part of that double play that ended the first for the Miners. Again, outside on the last pitch, so Hanley showing some good plate discipline right now. Trying to avoid a strikeout with a man at first and none away. Put on the ground, chance to turn 2, throw to second's good. Paul at first. Can't get him, so gets half, but couldn't complete the double play. A nice effort to get over there. And Paul has a little bit of disagreement, but timing's timing, so the inning goes on with 1 on.
Yeah, from our view, it looked like he was out, but called safe on the field. I could understand Paul maybe thinking that he had him out, but regardless, only 1 out recorded. Now it's going to be Andrew Soyka, the right fielder, who comes into this game hitting .235, a homer and 7 RBIs.
That's twice where we've seen attempted double play turns, once where it's actually worked. Miners would love a double play here to end the inning early, but only 1 away and 1 on right now. Soyka going to take that one high, so ball 1. We've discussed before, Soyka has a nice up tilt to his swing, always challenging for him to attack some low pitches, as he likes to lift them as he's trying to take it deep. Takes this shot deep, but deep into foul ground.
The Bucs, or rather the Oilers, this year as a team have the most extra base hits in the ABL, including 34 doubles.
Another swing on another foul ball for Andrew Soyka, the CSUN hitter and speedy outfielder who's had his troubles from time to time, but over the last week is really spiraling with a .071. And just barely trying to stay alive right now.
As a team, this Oilers team has 50 extra base hits in 27 games. That's the best rate in the ABL.
Still swinging away here. This one a better chance at 2. Bermudez with the throw to first. Gets him! So that's back-to-back half innings ending with double play here. Defense is looking sharp on both sides as the Miners able to end the top of the second. We take it to the bottom of the second here at Mulcahy Stadium after a short break, so be sure to stay tuned.
Score still tied at 0-0.
Miners getting ready for their second chance here in the bottom of the second, as Casey Rother takes his first hacks with the lumber today. Rother got a few hits in their game yesterday against the Chinooks, a few singles to his name, as he takes this one nearly on the shoe top. This one's going to be ball one to start off the inning.
1-0, and Rother comes in hitting .325 on the year, a homer and 10 RBIs. Also the most at-bats on this team.
That's because they trust him and his instincts. Right now, his instincts worked him to a 2-0 count, so favorable right now in limiting the zone for Urselli. This one hit on the ground, just a little dribbler as a strong throw from third gets him at the plate. What a play from Cole Moore to range over and take it barehanded for the first out.
5-3, nice play. Cole Moore moving on that bare hand, was able to pluck it and throw on the run one motion to retire Rother. Now it's going to be Aaron Walters.
Made that look a lot easier than it is for the first out. So Casey Rother retired on a great fielded play, but now Aaron Walters is going to be stepping up for the Miners. Got a solo shot yesterday against the Chinooks over the left field wall, hoping to do the same here. Puts this one on the ground early, so it's another 3 unassisted. Novicki having a pretty easy day over there at first.
Second out of the inning, 1 pitch, 1 out, and it's going to be Tyler Rando, who is behind the plate, or rather DH'd yesterday, coming in as EJ Cumbo left the game early with an injury. He's back in the lineup today. Today, Rando back in the DH slot.
Rando did his job well as he seems to support the runners in scoring position better than most players on this lineup, but right now, no one ahead of him and now behind 0-1.
Rando comes into this game hitting .231 on the year, a homer and 10 RBIs. He's also walked 7 times to just 6 strikeouts.
And starts it off for there, gets called for strike 2, so no favors as well. 0-2 early, and now he can put the ball pretty much wherever he wants. Urselli with a favorable pitcher's count. Rando at the plate. Starts the swing, stops himself, and good thing he did because that's going for ball 1.
Rando in his last 14 at-bats has knocked in 4 runs along with 3 hits.
And showing some solid patience here, not going to offer outside. That's tough. Obviously, the second strike came on a breaking ball away, so thought they could tempt him there. Rando showing off some good patience in a 2-2 count. The Zag ready for the pitch. Not going to swing this one high, so full count. And how about this job by Tyler Rando to work himself back from an 0-2?
Looking at the Oilers' pitching staff, it was actually interesting to notice, despite the Oilers' 8-18 record, they've actually faced the most batters in the league, despite, for the majority of their games, not facing the bottom of the ninth.
And just like that, Tyler Rando works a walk, so 0-2 to 4-2 in only 4 pitches.
Jared Sweeney next to the plate. He had a hit yesterday, a couple of hard hit balls as well, and maybe his bat is starting to show some signs of life. He's been struggling at the plate for pretty much the entire year, but a couple of hits strung together could do wonders for his confidence.
Obviously getting a role in the middle infield today as well, so maybe trying to expand his role for the team as injuries have been mounting over the season for the Miners. Always great to have a fallback option on any of your positions, so Sweeney could look to maybe see his face in the middle infield more and more. He's already staring at a 1-0, make it 2-0. So Urselli looked like he could have cruised through this inning. 2 away already and was in an 0-2 with Rando. Now we're looking at a 2-0 for Sweeney. 1 on already as Rando stares at first. Sweeney hesitating to throw over to first, and Not going to tag him. Arguably could have had him beat, but not there for the tag, is Novicki's getting a little comfortable at first.
Miners on the year have 38 extra base hits in contrast to the Oilers' 50, albeit a few less games.
So gets a strike called, that time a front door attack. Finally starting to work his way back. It's the Cardinal from Ball State Orselli. This one swung at and missed, so there's strike 2. Sweeney trying to create, obviously had that shot over the right fielder's head the other day. Gonna be tough to work something by Soyka, but he has the power.
3-2, the runner will be moving.
This one sent into left field instead, and Pennington lays out, gets the catch, and ends the inning as he had to make an athletic grab there. Rando was already at third. Miners unable to scratch one across, do put one on, but we take it to the third inning, still scoreless on both sides. We'll be right back with some more ABL action after a short break here at Mulcahy. Third inning of action, getting ready to start here at Mulcahy as Michael Paul still on the mound, and Henry Novicki, the first baseman, going to get his first swings of the day in the 9-hole inning, getting ready to go 9-1-2 for the Miners to face off against. Paul going to start with the ball. This one low.
Oilers come into today's contest at 8-19. They've lost their last 3 games, and then they're 3 of 7 in their last 10.
Definitely been skidding as of lately, looking for a win to reclaim some momentum. But right now, looking just a at-bat at a time, trying to take the lead early, as no one's been able to budge the score. Right now, it's a 2-1 to Henry Novicki.
Novicki on the year has a .288 average, so interesting to see him in the 9 slot. As he takes a ball there, he's got a top 5 runs created on the team as well. If you want to look into advanced numbers, he's been good at that.
Also gets on base about 37% of the time, so he definitely offers a threat near the top of the lineup. But here in the 9-hole, he's facing a full count. This one's going to be a payoff pitch for the first baseman. Novicki not going to swing, gets the walk instead. They're going to say the ball was too inside. So base on balls for Henry Novicki, and once again, Michael Paul dealing with the base runner.
Top of the order now, it's going to bring up Cole Moore, whose first time to the plate, he grounded softly over to Nick Sorelli.
Miners have been in control for the most part in the field. Plenty of chances at double plays and converted one already. Another opportunity here as Moore gets ready for his first pitch taken outside.
Moore comes into today's contest with a 309 average, a 365 on base, and a 353 slugging. Put that together, it's good for a 718 OPS, which is good for fourth on this Oilers team.
Puts this one in play. Chance for two. Sweeney throws a second. Back to first. Safe. So gets one at second. Can't put him away at first as Moore's going to be safe on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, another fielder's choice. I feel like we've had a ton of them today, along with those two double plays. Another bang-bang play at the bag, but Moore busting it down the line was able to get in there in time.
Miners playing it smart, not allowing the farthest advanced runner to move whatsoever, as they've been getting plenty of force out so far.
Trevor Antonsen, shortstop in next.
Looking at that one outside, so Paul in his third inning of action, looking to survive with more runners on. Every single inning we've had one on at least, but doesn't mean they stay on for long. Like Reese said, fielder's choice has been the go-to out for both sides, it seems. This one put into foul ground. Sorelli looks up, gets this one. Can of corn in foul ground for the second out. Miners making this one move quick.
Foul out to Sorelli, so now with two away. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Johnny Olmstead, who walked his first time and moved up to second base on a fielder's choice.
So the USC Trojan and birthday boy going to be taking his swings here, as there's already two away in the inning.
Olmstead
sends this one back. This one's a line drive shot, but right to the glove of Walters. So a loud out, but an out nonetheless in the third of the inning as the Miners send it to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless for the Oilers. Michael Paul, 3 innings of scoreless work so far on the day, and we get ready to see what the Miners offense can do in response when we get back from a short break. Kevin Nakamura, or Naka as a lot of his teammates call him, coming up for his first swing of the day as he's in the catching role today for the first part of 2 games. And Nakamura started off the season hot, but hasn't had as much luck as of late. Hasn't been getting as many opportunities either, but still has a clean stroke when it comes to his swing. Orselli's still working on the mound for the Oilers as he gets strike 2 there, so Orselli's had a pretty clean performance so far.
The right-hander works fairly slowly. He's not a pitcher that you see getting the ball and right back to it. He takes his time in between pitches, but right now it's working.
Now he's just focused on the batter in front of him. Finally gets the first ball of this at-bat. Kevin Nakamura would love to lead off an inning for the Miners with another one on. Tyler Wilson began the game, but they haven't had a whole lot of traffic going along.
Arcelli sits at 28 pitches.
This one swung and missed, so another strikeout. This one swinging for Andre Arcelli.
Nakamura put away for out number 1. Now it's going to be David Bermudez, the shortstop.
Nobody out, 1 out. That brings up shortstop number 3, David Bermudez.
David Bermudez, the heart of the Miners defense, stepping up to the plate as he finds himself in the 9th slot today. Gives this one a ride, but up and into foul ground.
The Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks defeated the Anchorage Glacier Pilots earlier by a score of 9-7, and the Miners will take that, as with the win, the Pilots would have moved 2.5 back. Now they just sit at 3 back in a tie with the Chinooks at 13-11.
Another big swing here. David Bermudez behind 0-2 early, as the Miners' aggressive approach at the plate seems to be holding them back a little bit, working from behind counts. Another 0-2 offering from Arcelli. Swing on and sent backwards towards the back screen, so Bermudez will stay alive and hope for another one here.
Bermudez is yet to draw a walk on the year. That's kind of holding him back plate discipline-wise. Average isn't the highest, but he's shown ability in spurts for some good power.
This one again put into play, so this one sent to third. More to Novicki, a constant of today, as there's your second out. Bermudez, like you said, hasn't drawn a walk, but he also doesn't have too many strikeouts. He usually puts it in play and forces the defense to make an action. That time they responded with a nice 6-3 ground, or 5-3 ground out.
Tyler Wilson, who reached on an error back in the first, to the plate now.
Wilson, no question why he's in the leadoff spot today. An OBP of 571 coming into today in the last week. He's been red hot, but gonna be tough there. That one a weak line drive. Nice reflexes by Arcelli as he's able to snag it on the short hop and throw over to first for the third out. So far, this has been a defensive showcase for our scouts and our fans. Both sides still scoreless here through 3. We get ready for your 4th inning of action here at Mulcahy Stadium. Keep your fingers crossed that we get some offense going here soon. We'll be right back after a short break. Be sure to stay tuned in. As we get ready for another inning of action here. 3 have come and gone, no score. We get ready for the 4th, and Michael Paul still on the mound for the Miners.
All has been perfect so far in the run column. 3 innings of scoreless baseball. He'll get 4, 5, 6. Garrett Pennington, the first to the plate, who grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up.
Heart of the lineup, not going to get any harder than that for Paul. As he gets ready for another pitch. Already has a 1-1 count. Another swing here, gets a piece of it, but falls into Nakamura's mitt. So another strike. Looking at 1-2.
On the year, Pennington has been worth 11.2 runs created.
Can't create there, though, as he goes down on strikes. That'll be a strikeout swinging, and I believe the second strikeout of the game for Michael Paul. Hasn't been getting a lot of Ks on the ledger, but been able to manage all of the traffic that's been around him. And excellent work minimizing any kind of damages as he starts off with a low ball here.
Dylan Ditzenberger, who struck out looking to end the first inning, up to the plate now. What I was saying about Ditzenberger is he's been worth 11.2 runs created, which is top on the squad.
This one put into play. Sweeney bobbles it for a second, gets the thrower to first, but he's safe. So that extra second meant the world as he got on safely. Sorelli gloved it well, but not in time.
I would think that'll be scored an error on Jared Sweeney on the bobble. It wasn't a huge mistake, but that slight mistake enabled him to reach.
1 on and 1 out.
Dylan Ditzenberger now going to be on, so the center fielder with wheels put on the base path. Might be a terror for Michael Paul should he let him stay on. But immediately, Grant Roseman putting it the opposite way. The catcher is trying to help out his own squad just a little bit as no one's been able to create any offense here so far. Rosema waiting on the offer from Paul, taking his time to size it up. That one's going to be low.
Paul came into today as one of the best minors in terms of first pitch strike rate. He's got a 61, almost 62% first pitch strike rate, which shows he gets ahead of hitters a fair bit.
Makes for some quick innings as well, as we've seen so far, but not getting ahead of Rosema here. 2-1 after that foul tip. Rosema, once again, not going to take a low one. So 3 straight balls as Grant Rosema is really in the driving seat now.
Rosema came in today struggling big time behind the plate. One thing he can't hang his hat on is a 0.66 walk to strikeout ratio.
This one put on the ground. Bermudez throws, and Sweeney turns 2. Late sign there from the first base umpire, but does get the confirmation. Second double play of the game for the Miners. And they are able to get out of another top of the inning without a score. Michael Paul worked 4 scoreless so far. And we're getting ready to head to the bottom of the 4th, hoping for some offensive explosion from the Matsu side. We'll be right back with your next half inning of baseball after a short break. So EJ Cumbo, the Miners right fielder, is going to get a first chance here in the bottom of the fourth as we are in the middle of a pitcher's duel, but this one sent left deep field, and that one's put away, so created some excitement and forced him to move quite a bit, but Garrett Pennington over there in left field still gets the out.
One out.
And only took one pitch, so when they say this is a pitcher's duel, it every sense of the word. Not a whole lot of strikeouts, but just excellent job preventing any kind of offense momentum building up. Both sides have been pretty stagnated. As Nick Sorelli hoping to break that. Takes a pitch low for ball one, but both sides have been able to get one on, but I don't believe either side's advanced a man to third yet. It's been pretty cold running for both teams. Sorelli takes one. Well, thought it was near the hands, but that's going to be called strike one. Urselli working his fourth inning as he and Paul are going back and forth and gets a big swing there from Sorelli. A bit of breaking action down low in front of the plate and couldn't lay off for strike two.
Sorelli on the year by runs created has been the most valuable minor. Casey Rother sits at 15.1, Sorelli at 16.6. It combines pretty much every hitting statistic and shows at least as a hitter, Sorelli's been the most valuable.
This one bounces off of Rosema's glove. Going to be a ball anyway as he's going to stay alive here.
Sorelli also with a 194 isolated power, which pretty much takes away all of your base hits and walks and only puts together your extra base hits, home runs, how that factors in. So Sorelli has been the best power hitter on the squad as well.
As he puts this one down and Olmstead throws over to first. Novicki dependable there as they haven't had a whole lot of errors in the field for the Oilers. Only one so far that began our game, but since then they've been lights out, and Casey Rother hoping to break up the tie. He's going to come to the plate next for the Miners with two away already, trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning for the back-to-back.
Still no hits for the Miners on the day.
This one thought it was low, but it is a strike, so 0-1 to Casey Rother.
Rother, the second most valuable minor, as I said, in runs created. He's got 15.1 on the year. He's also got an even walk to strikeout ratio.
Not going to offer this one. Shining his shoes for ball one.
Rother came in today hitting .325 with a .411 on base and a .458 slugging.
Man, he gets under this one just a bit too much. Flies right into center field as Ditzenberger doesn't have to run far to put that one away. 4 have come and 4 have gone, but still no score on either side as this is becoming a situation where whatever team scores first, they may hold on. Miners and Oilers still stuck at 0-0. As we get ready to begin the 5th inning of action, be sure to stay here for more Miners baseball. if you're a fan of defensive baseball, this is one for you. We got a 0-0 ball game heading into 5 as Michael Paul, looks like he's continuing his work for the Miners. Had no issues so far as it's been just a pretty boring ball game offensively. Both sides being well contained, and all the kudos goes to these pitchers. But right now, Paul, that was his second ball there.
Hanley's first time up, he grounded to the second baseman Sweeney, who went the short way to Bermudez for 1, but they were unable to turn the double play. He reached on a fielder's choice.
Sends this one right back up to shoot. Sweeney with the throw gets him at the plate. So a nice throw from Jared Sweeney as he was able to just catch it a little bit past the second bag and get the first out of the inning. Another ground out for John Hanley.
It's going to be Andrew Soyka, whose last time up, he did too, ground to second base. That time, though, he got turned for a double play, 4-6-3 double play to end the second inning.
Paul to Soyka into foul ground. Both sides not seeing any real movement from their bullpens, as it looks like this is a one-man show on both ends.
Soyka has the third highest isolated power on this Oiler team. So it's 1-1 on him now. Isolated power mark sits at 136. Oilers get a lot of their power from Garrett Pennington.
This one sent deep, so the isolated power shot here, but right into the glove of Aaron Walters. Can't isolate it that much further. Walters gets him there for the second out.
Henry Novicki to the plate now. He reached on a walk. One of just 2 walks on the day for Paul. Back in the third, and Michael Paul, all of a sudden, he's 1 out away from getting out of the 5th inning with no runs allowed yet. And there hasn't been any activity in the Miner bullpen either. So, Paul certainly going to get some length today.
A rare walk for Novicki. Only had 5 going into the ABL season prior to today, but makes it 6. So, a slower paced day for Novicki, but can't lay off the first pitch. Here's the second time around, this time taken for ball low.
1-1 on Novicki. Once again, our second game of the day will begin at 7 p.m. regardless of when this game ends against the Anchorage Bucs. Miners will be the away team.
This one sent this time into right field. Mike it over his head, keeps going, hits the wall for 1 bounce and starts towards second, but stops himself as Cumbo cannons it back to Bermudez.
That is going to be the longest hit single we have seen in quite some time. Henry Novicki taking that one deep to right field, and it hit about halfway up the right field wall, straightaway right field off that Boar's Head logo in right field. But Novicki, who is even running hard out of the box, that ball was just hit so hard, and the ball never actually touched the ground. It hit the wall and then went straight into Cumbo's glove, and he fired it back in with a good throw. So a long single for Henry Novicki.
A quick turnaround from Cumbo. That wrist had some swelling the other day. It looks fine now, but we can't even finish the comment before the inning ends as immediately put away. Cole Moore with the shot right back to Michael Paul. A little comeback shot as he ends the inning on the 3rd out. Easy ground out. This is continued. No one advancing to 3rd still into this game as we still have no runs. Getting ready to head to the bottom of the 5th. Miners hoping to break this up and get their first hit of the ball game. Be sure to stay tuned here at Mulcahy Stadium as we have more baseball ahead. Getting ready for the bottom of the 5th as Aaron Walters back up to the plate for the Miners. They are looking for anybody to get this offense going. Been held pretty standstill all game. No hits to this point.
Walters grounded out to the first baseman. Novicki, his first trip up. Yeah, no runners for the Miners. No hits still on the day. Their only runner was the first batter of the game. Tyler Wilson reached on an error.
Just looking for something to get the gears turning. This one sent into foul ground, though.
1-1 on Walters, who came in today hitting .267 on the year. Walters has been a steady force in this lineup, and lately he's been really good. He's 5 of his last 13 with a homer and 2 RBIs.
Starts to go around there, but too far inside, so that'll be ball 1 or ball 2. So 2-1. Aaron Walters hoping to get on. Not a perfect game bid, obviously, from Orselli, but he's no doubt been in control. Taking a strike on the outside looking. Now at 2-2. And hasn't really been a whole lot of good contact on either side either. That shot from Novicki over to the right field is probably the deepest we've seen from either so far. Orselli hoping to continue his work. A nice attempt by Rosema to frame that one in the zone, but not going to work. 3-2 full count.
That was really close. I'm surprised Walters wasn't sent packing there, but anyhow, he's got a 3-2 count.
Something's got to give. What will it be as Walters puts this one around and Pennington puts this one away. So even good contact can't seem to fall for the Miners right now.
Yeah, unable to get that one down, and now it's going to be Tyler Randall. All of a sudden, the Miners have just 8 outs left in regulation. We already saw a no-hitter against them a couple weeks ago. Luki Yasinich of the Oilers and Kenai threw it in Game 2 of a doubleheader, a 7-inning game. So Orselli right now with a bid for his own in a 7-inning game.
Tyler Rando looking to break that up and get this Miners offense going, but not going to do it with a high pitch. Ball 1.
Walters hit that one right on the screws. Just Pennington was playing him perfectly, and it went right at him.
Sometimes you're just lined up no better than you could be, and that was just a situation where Pennington was in the right place at the right time. This one put on the ground. Rando trying to leg it out, but not going to get there as it's going to be an easy out. Olmstead to Novicki once again. 4-3, 2 away.
Another hard-hit ball, but Miners cannot find a gap in the defense right now. And now Jared Sweeney, whose first trip up, he flew out to the left fielder Pennington, who had to lay out and make a diving grab. Will get another chance in now.
Miners just looking for something. Sweeney trying to create any kind of momentum. This one's sent up. And we've continued to see no real action in either bullpen. Saw during one of the breaks, one of the bullpens playing hacky sack, so they seem pretty comfortable with their starters right now.
One thing Sweeney can hand his hat on is he's averaging more than a walk per plate appearance.
He's going to take that one for a strike, so favorable call from Blue for Orselli as he gets a strike there.
Should say a walk every 10 plate appearances. My bad on that, but it's one of the higher numbers on the Miners.
Sweeney hoping to stay alive here at the plate. No worries from there. Not going to hang up the gone fishing sign right now as Sweeney lays off on that bait.
1-2 on Jared Sweeney. Nakamura stands on deck.
The Lehigh Slugger looks at this one, starts to go around, and they say that twisted him up, so that one got him pretty bad. Through 5, and so far, neither side getting it going. Keep your eyes peeled on this one. First team to score, likely to come away the victors. As we get ready for the 6th inning of action, only 7 scheduled. Anything happens here at Mulcahy, be sure to stay tuned.
number 24, Trevor Antonio.
The plate for the Oilers as we are still stuck in a stalemate. 0-0. Both starting pitchers have looked excellent in this one. Michael Paul for the Miners back out for his 6th inning of work as he may get the bid for the full game here. Paul gets a call strike on the inside, so 1-1 and a nice spot on the inside corner.
Paul with 5 scoreless innings, still no activity in the minor pen.
This one a bit too far outside, late release on that one, so gonna make it a 2-1 count. Paul really trying to work down that 2.7 ERA, already great sub-3, but this one sent the other way. Antonsen, how far will it go? It won't make it over the wall, instead going to be put away. So got the eyes get the crowd waking up a little bit, but not for long as he gets set down for out number 1.
That was ball hit pretty well into left center field, but Walters had a good beat on it. Able to get back there and make the grab for the first out.
Seems like every shot is dying today as everything even hit loud is falling for these outfielders. Novicki shot to right field. It was the only one that looked like it had a chance. As it's newly 21-year-old Johnny Olmstead coming up to the plate for the Oilers. He is on with a walk for his first appearance, but then fouled out. So 0 for 1 line right now.
Olmstead on the year has a 7.85 runs created. Good for 6th on the Oilers.
Also showing off some impressive...
Or rather, 10.02. I was thinking it was higher. It was. He's 2nd on the Oilers in runs created.
Paul letting a pitch get away from him there, so a chance he could walk Johnny Olmstead once again, but the Miners have been able to force them to put balls in play and not in favorable counts. Swings on this one once again, a slow dribbler. It's still fair. They should be able to play that. But
I think it may have hit his foot actually before it left the box.
So calling that one just a simple blooper instead. What looked like it could have been an easy out number 2.
Olmstead's already flown to left once as Tyler LeBron's out of the dugout to kind of argue this.
Was a bit of an odd situation with no movement from Olmstead. He must have known something that kept him from heading to first. But right now we can only speculate. He does put this one in play as it heads towards Sweeney at second. Throws over to first quickly and out. So another quick out and working his way back from an unfavorable count is Michael Paul for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, slow roller there, and Johnny Olmstead can really run up the first base line, but just not in time there. 2 away now, and Garrett Pennington is the last hope here in the 6th for the Oilers. Fielder's choice, strikeout swinging on Pennington's line today.
I don't think anyone has a real favorable line in the game today. Maybe only Novicki with his 1 for 1 and a walk, but this has been the definition of the pitcher's duel.
Paul's sitting at just 71 pitches, too, as he works with 2 outs in the 6th inning, so he's certainly got potential to go even deeper into this game.
Only a 7-inning game should someone score in regulation. Here at the last out in the top of the 6th, the Oilers running out of time to create as it's going to be Garrett Pennington at the plate again. He had a loud out, but an out nonetheless as he's swinging for the fences still. That one going to be a strike.
Pennington with a lot of swings and misses today. He's struck out about 25% of the time on the year coming into today, but Michael Paul has generated now 4 swings and misses on him.
Started to offer again, but able to hold himself back. Everything outside looking a mile away. Luckily, able to hold that one off. Paul could spot up on the black on the outside. Unlikely to get a swing. Instead, puts this one inside and into play, right into a giant gap between Sorelli and Sweeney.
Yeah, Sweeney was shifted up the middle. Miner's really shifting on Pennington there, but he fights it off, goes the opposite way for his first hit of the day. So a bit of activity over on the bags as Dylan Ditzenberger, who reached on an error last time by Jared Sweeney, will come to the plate next.
1 and 2 outs. That brings up center fielder number 9, Dylan Ditzenberger.
And Ditz, as many will call him, just because of what's on the back of his jersey today. Looking to create the first run for either side as Sorelli is able to block it and dives over to first. Gets him. What an athletic play by Nick Sorelli.
Dugout out to greet him too. Nick Sorelli, how about that athletic play, knocking it down, going back to the ball, and I think he got the runner, Ditzenberger's leg, on the way by.
Just no real time for error after he scrambled to find it and jumped to the bag. Michael Paul can thank Nick Sorelli for that one, ending the top of the 6th as we have another chance for the Miners. Tie ball game to break it up. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Miners coming up to bat. Be sure to stay tuned here at Mulcahy Stadium. Miners back up to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th as Kevin Nakamura starts us off by heading to first.
Hit by a pitch, dugout really cheering down for him as he takes that one. Miners have a runner on for the first time since the first batter of this game. 1 on, none out, and David Bermudez next. I would not be surprised if he squares the bunt.
Not at all. We're here in the bottom of the 6th. Acts as our 8th inning with only a 7-inning game, part of the doubleheader, game 1 of 2. They're going to try and be aggressive here as he does square up but sent it foul. They're going to try and use Nakamura as the winning run. It would be the go-ahead run in this situation.
Nakamura on the year does not have a sacrifice hit.
Bermudez squaring up once again. Puts this one down. This one is fair, and Nakamura is going to be clean to second, but they do get the throw to first, so a beautiful sac hit there by David Bermudez as there was no chance at throwing to second.
Yeah, that was a good job by Bermudez. That was a high pitch, a hard pitch to bunt, but was able to get up on it and able to square it down, and now Nakamura sits at second base. Tyler Wilson, the top of the order, up now, and this is by far the Miners' best chance to score today as we're going to get a pinch runner. Josh Morozic's going to go out there and run for Nakamura.
So not even going to make it a question of speed anymore, throwing their flash of their own, the Kent State Golden Flash, heading out there for the Miners, their fastest player, and they're going all in on this opportunity with only 1 away.
Tyler Wilson batting from the left side Switch hitter. 0 for 2 on the day.
He does seem to favor his left side, and we've seen him use it every single time so far against Orselli, the right-hander, as he sends that one foul.
Orselli has got by this game, really, him and Paul, without a lot of strikeouts. Just 2 strikeouts on the line of Andre Orselli, and just 2 strikeouts on the line of Michael Paul.
Tyler Wilson has a run created of 5.4, so not the highest, but near the upper echelon for the Miners. They would love for him to add an RBI right now. As he takes another swing here, so he's timing it well, but unable to send it fair. That one's going to be his second strike, and now Tyler Wilson looking to avoid being put away without at least advancing the runner. Wilson ready for a huge at-bat here. This pitch could be a major payoff.
Orselli's in the driver's seat.
Swings again, sends this one down the left field line, but it's heading foul and ends up in the bullpen.
Hit that one deep, just got to straighten it out.
So now that ball is a resident of the Pepsi bullpen over there where the Oilers haven't had a whole lot of movement.
Still 0-2 on Wilson.
Orselli has what he wants. Checks over at second and delivers. Mrozik not going to run as this one's sent right towards Antonsen. And now there's 2 away, and it's going to take a base hit more than likely to bring Mrozik in. Interested to see if they're even going to try and get aggressive to steal third and make it a shorter chance. But right now, Cumbo represents their best chance at generating a run today.
Cumbo earlier. It went fairly deep to left, but plenty of room out there for Pennington.
Still no hits for the Miners. Their first one could be a big one here as Cumbo is sending that one foul. Miners getting a lot of contact, just not putting it in play.
Orselli's been really efficient with his pitch count so far, too. He's thrown just 63 pitches as he's working with 2 outs in the 6th.
An even battle here between Paul and Orselli. Cumbo looking to break this game open with its first run. And this one's hit to left field. Pennington waiting on it and barely even had to move from his tracks as that one's put away for the third out. 6 have come and 6 have gone. Still no score and no hits for the Miners as we get ready for what could be our last inning of play. 7th inning coming up here from Mulcahy Stadium, so be sure to stay tuned in for what comes next.
Number 23, Grant Rosemont.
So we get ready for what could be our final inning of action should either offense score, but this has been a pure pitcher's duel through and through. Grant Rosemont coming up to the plate to start us off here in the 7th, see if he can change that whatsoever. But Michael Paul His 7th inning of action, and just barely eclipsing what could be worrisome numbers for pitch count.
Looks like some movement down the Miners bullpen, just some stretching and stuff of sorts, but gives you an indication on Paul's line maybe starting to come to a close.
And part of that could just be preparing for extras, as neither offense looks like it's waking up, and we could need it in a 0-0 ball game, but right now, just working on Rosema. Rosema swings, puts this one into foul, so bounced fair for a second, but ended up moving past the bag. Sorelli grabs it, and we're getting ready for a 2-2 call.
Paul with just 2 punch-outs on the day, but he's been good at getting ground balls. A lot of ground balls all day long.
This one fouled off once again, so we'll run it back, and Paul is going to try and work his way through his 7th inning.
Set at 5:03 p.m. local time. So there's a breaking ball for a ball in the dirt. Paul now full on Grant Rosema. 6, 7, 8 due up. Hanley in the on-deck circle. Soyka in the hole.
This one, big swing and a big miss, so Rosema not retired, but barely makes contact.
Just got a piece of that for the foul tip.
Prior to today, Paul had pitched about 13 innings in 4 appearances. Adding a major 7 innings to that could be huge. And this one fouled away again, so Rosema isn't going away easy.
4 foul balls on this at-bat for Rosema. Singled back in the 2nd inning.
Definitely seeing Paul well as he sends another one foul, make it 5. Not going to be an easy fan for Paul, as the first batter here is pushing him to his limits. This has been the longest at-bat Paul's had with any of the batters he's faced, but finally he wins the battle on a swing and a miss. Paul can't help but contain his joy. That's another one away for Michael Paul through 6.1 with no score.
10-pitch strikeout. Paul wins the battle. Now it's going to be John Hanley. 3rd strikeout of the day for Paul. 4 hits, 1 error for the Oilers. Haven't been able to bring anything around for the Miners. No runs, no hits, 1 error.
Big swing there, John Hanley. Where his team is running out of time to create, if the Miners able to keep them scoreless here and generate any offense in the bottom of this inning, it's their ball game. Starts to go around there, but they're going to say he's held back. Check swing, so 1-1.
Now the bullpen's sitting down, no longer stretching, but there was nobody in the bullpen to begin this game, so they're just sitting down there.
John Hanley holds off there. Maybe getting a little bit more patient here. So 2-1. University of Tampa pitcher looking to work his way through here, but another ball outside. 3-1, a chance for a walk here, what would be the 3rd walk of Paul's game. See if he offers something over the heart of the plate inside, gets the strike. 3-2, full count again. Nothing comes easy for this Oilers offense today against Michael Paul.
Paul now over 90 pitches on the day. This will be 92.
That one's fouled away again, so copping after Rosema, Hanley's going to make him work for the punch-out.
Soyka due up on deck. Is a lefty. Novicki, also a lefty. Cole Moore, also a lefty. So, long string of lefties due up.
Big swing there, and finally fans him with that one. Back-to-back strikeout swinging for Michael Paul.
Now it's going to be Soyka, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time. Last time up, he flew out to left field.
Right fielder number 22.
Soyka also has a pretty high strikeout rate. A chance we may see Paul retire the side via the strikeout, but we'll see where he targets Soyka. This one, first pitch put the other way and right off of the glove of Bermudez. Not going to get to second, but is going to keep the inning alive.
Yeah, that's going to go down as a base hit. Bermudez diving on that one back up the middle, and it hit just off the web of his glove. And now Bubba Walters out of the dugout to talk to Michael Paul. Nobody warming up in the pen, so this is purely a strategy move. But 1 on now, 2 away. Henry Novicki, who walked his first time up and then doubled off the right, or rather singled off the right field wall his first time. A long single. But a single nonetheless to the plate now, 1 for 1 day.
And Novicki may be the only player that has had a legitimately positive offensive game, drawing that walk and single. Just looking to extend it here. As Novicki, the Bucknell University product, looking to avoid becoming the third out here in the top of the 7th. Was a .216 batter with Bucknell and looking to continue here, but that one's barely contained by Sam Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson entered as a defensive replacement for Josh Mrozek, who pinch ran for Kevin Nakamura in the 6th inning. Nakamura was behind the plate, so Thompson just taking over behind the plate. Mrozek out of the game.
This one too far inside, they're going to say, so Paul falling behind here a bit against Novicki. Obviously sees him well.
2-0 count.
Once again low, so another ball. Paul has a chance to maybe add another base runner on. Novicki's been their second best hitter all across the entire season. If they want someone with their final out, it's likely him, but finally gets a strike. So a little breath of fresh air for Michael Paul.
Paul with 2 walks today, in danger of his third, as now there's some more stretching as a right-handed arm has warmed up. It's Alex Majors.
And not going to get a call to go his way there, making it 2 on and 2 away in the top of the 7th. Novicki gets his second walk of the game, and he's having a pretty good line for his OBP.
Hasn't been put out yet. A couple of walks and a base hit. And now Cole Moore, who struggled today, 0 for 3. Ground out to the first baseman, Sorelli. Ground into a fielder's choice, and then a ground out to Paul, who went to Sorelli. So now 2 on, 2 out. The Oilers' best chance all day to score some runs.
Looks like it may be Alex Majors warming up in the pen for the Miners. A little sidearm action in a close game. He is usually their go-to closer. Right now, it's still a tie ball game, 0-0. As Cole Moore is just trying to keep this game alive for the Oilers. Called strike there on the bottom of the black. Nice job by Thompson to put his glove under it and frame that nicely.
Miners still without a hit, so they'll have a chance at it regardless in the bottom of the 7th. But if they can get out of this inning, the chance for that first hit could be in their first run.
This one fouled far away to the left side, and we'll see it in the parking lot later.
Paul ahead 0-2 now. I would expect something probably off speed in the dirt here. Moore has kind of been off balance all day. Could maybe get him fishing here.
Also got those 2 ground outs, so breaking ball down low seems to be working, and he does swing and miss. So top of the 7th comes and goes. Still no score for the Oilers. That's 7 up and down without 1 run crossing the plate. Miners looking for their first hit and first run in what could be a walk-off win in Game 1 of this doubleheader today. We'll be right back with their offensive response in just a bit after a short break. Miners coming up with the bottom of the 7th. Nick Sorelli is our leadoff man. And they are just looking for any kind of offense. Anything at all would do it and put this game away. Sorelli, one of their best on-base percentages on the season. So couldn't imagine somebody they'd want more in a leadoff spot. As he's the first one to the dish, taking ball number 1 to start us off.
Sorelli ahead 1-0. Sorelli and then Rother as it's now 2-0. And Sorelli ahead in the count now. We know how much he walks, but he could possibly run into one here. How would that be for your first hit of the game, a walk-off home run?
Crazier things have happened in baseball. Right now, Sorelli's just being really patient at the plate.
3-0 on Nick Sorelli. Rother on deck. And I'd imagine if Sorelli reaches first base with him representing the winning run, I would assume they could go to a pinch runner.
So Sorelli in a really favorable count, but does get a first strike called against him. Not going to head to the base just yet.
3-1 on Sorelli. 0 for 2 day, grounded into a double play and grounded to second.
Getting on for the first time would really help his squad here. And he'll do just that with a walk. So finally gets on. Miners once again threatening. Back-to-back innings they've had a man get on via the walk. One with a hit by pitch. And there's Sorelli with a good eye.
Third baseman number 48, Casey Rother.
Rother on. 1 on, none out. Casey Rother with an opportunity. Sorelli will not be pinch ran for. He's going to stay on first.
Putting a lot of faith in their offense right now. Rother, one of the best pure hitters for this squad, takes a strike on the hand there.
0-1. Casey grounded to third in the second and flew out to center in the fourth.
Looking to see if he can turn one around and finally break that cold spell this team's having. Still no hits in the game. This one put down for the no-hitter bid is ended. Sorelli not going to chug to third. Instead, they're going to have 2 on and no away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Aaron Walters, who's laid down a couple of sacrifice bunts on the year, I would expect first pitch he's going to try to lay one down. First and second. Winning run is Sorelli, and now they're going to go get Sorelli. They're going to get a pinch runner. Ricky Nunez out of the dugout. He's going to go run.
So waited till he was in scoring position now and trying to take advantage. Wouldn't be surprised if you see that bunt laid down. But he also has been pretty effective at shooting the ball right back at the pitcher. If he can put one right up the middle, Nunez definitely has the speed to come home.
Nunez pinch running out there. It's a big runner.
See what Walters can do at the dish. He lays down the bunt. First pitch here. No one's going to get to third. Are they going to get him at first? Barely. So there's your first out. Runners do advance both to second and third. And it's going to come down to Tyler Rando. See if he can finish this game.
Tyler Rando, chance to play hero now. Good bunt there by Walters. He almost reached first. He was very close. Novicki at the last second able to get rid of it. And they're going to walk Tyler Rando.
So the intentional walk could set up the double play ball. And instead of Rando, it's going to be Jared Sweeney coming up to the plate for the Miners to see if he can play hero.
Second baseman, number 28, Jared Sweeney.
Sweeney had plenty of experience playing with Rother and Ferreira before they came up here. Played in the Hamptons, or the New Hamptons League prior to this last summer for a short bit. And Ferreira has had his own walk-off success for the Miners this season. See if Sweeney can recreate his own.
Sweeney has a walk-off walk against the Chinooks a few weeks back.
And this one is going to be hit through the gap, so that's the ball game. Jared Sweeney is the hero. Only their second hit of the game. That one for an RBI single, and the Miners win a close one. 1-0 game.
1-0.
That's all it took. 2 hits from Lehigh Products, and the Miners come away with a close victory.
How about that for Jared Sweeney? First pitch ambush tactic going right through, pulling it to the right side. Good piece of hitting from Sweeney, and his bat has really picked it up lately. He looked good today, able to get that hit there. And How about that? The Miners with a walk-off win. Jared Sweeney, his second walk-off of the year. It's the Miners' first walk-off hit of the year, actually. So obviously Sweeney's first as well. So a big moment for Jared Sweeney.
Miners able to escape with a narrow one, and they're getting ready to celebrate, but won't celebrate for long. Game 2 of their doubleheader coming up next, starting at 7. They're going to eat, recuperate, and we'll be right back with another stream and another game for you guys here at Mulcahy Stadium. I've been Sean Neep alongside Reese Landon. Be sure to stick around when you see our next stream come up and join us again.
I gotta do point streak and make sure it's